Another one of the big games we're spotlighting around the state this week is a big showdown in Class 2A. You've got Lovell at Cokeville. You got number one and number three, and pleased to be joined by the first-year head coach of the Cokeville Panthers, Marty Linford. And, Coach, first of all, tell me a little bit about how it's been kind of taking over for the legend himself, Todd Dayton. How are things going here early on?
Uh, you know, it's kind of interesting because I've been a head wrestling coach and coaching football. There's quite a bit of stuff that you have to do that I wasn't quite aware of. Getting all the stats in, all that kind of stuff. I was just kind of shocked by how much he did that I had no clue about.
Well, it sounds like you're enjoying it at least. I guess, how would you assess how you guys played against that Skyview JV last week?
You know what? We kind of surprised ourselves. We played really, really well. We've had great preseason practices and things were looking good, but then we came out and played really, really hard and played well. And so I was very pleased with what we were doing.
What do you look at when you see Coach Crosby's squad?
As we've been watching film on them, they are extremely physical. They will come and hit you, and they're well disciplined, and they do a lot of the same things we do. They'll line up an eye and run it at you, and throw some play action passes and stuff. But the big thing that jumped out to me was how physical they were.
So I know your kids can be physical, but what are you looking for in terms of improvements from game one to game two?
That's a good question. We need to be more disciplined. Our eye discipline wasn't very good. We kept missing our reads and stuff like that. So we've got to be more disciplined with our eyes and going where our reads take us to. And then we've got to be better tacklers. We missed some open field tackles. And so we've been working on that this week, and hopefully it shows up on game day. Oh yeah, we're going to leave bright and early Friday morning and go up there and play and spend the night and come home. So hopefully I've got the trip broken up enough that we get out of the bus every 3 hours and walk around, do some things. So yeah, we flopped with them. So we're headed up there.
Is that more of a mental thing than anything, Coach? I mean, you've taken wrestlers all across the state and region. Is that more of a mental thing in terms of getting off the bus and getting yourself ready to go?
Yeah. One thing I learned from Coach Dayton is to do that, to get them off the bus about every 2-3 hours, go do something. We'll hit the park in Thermopolis, eat lunch, spend about an hour and a half just throwing the football around, walking around, and just not riding the bus for 6-7 hours straight.
What do you think the biggest things are going to be for you? What do you really stress to the team this week?
We've got to take care of the ball, and we have to tackle.
Coach, thanks so much for your time. Wish you the best of luck at Lovell.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
We continue spotlighting a great game that's happening in 2A tonight. It is number 3 Cokeville at top-ranked Lovell. And I know it wasn't our game of the week. I picked a 6-man game for our small school game of the week. So all you fans out there can blame me. I went Little Snake River and DuBois, a 1-2 showdown. This is 1 versus 3, so we're still spotlighting it. Nick Crosby, head coach of the Bulldogs, on with me. And boy, had a barn burner last week, 14-7. Nick, what'd you take away from that first official game from your team?
Boy, there were some things we did really well. Feel like in the first half we got our run game going. I felt like we had a lot of momentum coming into the second half. Similar to our 0-week game with Buffalo, though, we got off to a slow start in the second half and just need to figure out how to put 2 halves together. Bighorn's a really good team. We knew that it would be a tough game. Their quarterback's awfully solid, made a lot of good plays for them, a lot of good athletes, and they played tough. We knew it was going to be close. We didn't know it was going to be a few inches close, but give them a lot of credit. It's a great game for our kids to get experience being in a tight game down to the wire like that. And our boys were able to make key plays when needed, and we were able to hang on for the win.
Now you get Cokeville coming to town. They had a couple extra days of preparation for you, but this shapes up to be a heck of a game because even though there's no Todd Dayton, Cokeville's still going to play hard, and they're going to get after it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Cokeville, They're Cokeville. They're very well coached, very disciplined. You know that they're gonna go hard on every single down. You are going to have to beat them. They're not going to beat themselves. They do their jobs very well. They play to the whistle. They just are a really good team year in, year out. Great culture, great tradition there. It'll be a really hard fought game. You know, whoever wins is gonna earn that win this Friday.
What is it like to kind of start a season with just stiff tests right away? I mean, you really find out a lot about your ball club, Nick, don't you?
Yeah, that's been the case the last few years. Our schedule seems to be really front loaded. There's pros and cons, but absolutely, you know, when you have those tests right out of the gate, you realize we need to work more on this. We can tweak some personnel and everything, and hopefully get ready for the stretch run on into the playoffs. So there's definitely some advantages, but it is a little bit tricky to be this tested right out of the gate.
How do you keep your team focused on just, hey, the here and now? We're just going out to play a game. Let's think about this one and don't worry about anything else right now.
Yeah, we have, you know, some daily goals that we're working on in each practice, what we want to accomplish. And those turn into our weekly goal. We want to go 1-0 each week, and we try to keep them focused on what it's going to take to make that happen. We certainly know what we're going to have to do this week to be able to get a win against Cokeville, and just trying to keep the kids focused on that and not worrying about 1, 2, 3 weeks ahead. It's a challenge, but I think our kids are used to it by now, and they realize there's nobody we ever overlook. And if we want to be our best, we have to make sure that each day we're focused on the task at hand.
Nick, again, thanks so much for your time and good luck Friday night against the Panthers.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you.